And we're live.
Like the
Me and
new
Tucker
Natty Light spritzer cans. This PKA is also brought to you by Natty Light Seltzer.
No, what we
Yes.
should talk about is, did you see Four Loko's hard seltzer response?
I didn't even know they
Oh,
made a hard
please,
seltzer.
please lay out the whole background. I don't know anything.
So let me tell you right now, everybody knows White Claws, right? Like
No.
everybody
Yeah.
knows.
Don't assume that.
Trulies.
All right, so White Claw is the current brand or the beverage of the summer. It is a quote unquote affordable 12-pack of hard seltzer. So 5% alcohol by volume, 100 calories, no added sugars, 2 carbs, like very lean. It is the perfect beverage for Becky and Chad, right? You know,
Okay.
I
Jim,
like 'em.
Chad. Right. It's I do like them. They're fine. They come in flavors like black cherry, lime, like what grapefruit, right? They're good.
It'll get
I
you
drink
drunk.
vodka water, so keep in mind that like I don't really care, but they are fine. White Claws boomed, and like companies like Truly or Celsius have popped up as like kind of like mimicky, basically lean, low carb, low calorie alcoholic replacements, whatever. So Four Loko tweets 2 days ago, and it's like, we walked so hard seltzer can fly, and they have announced their version of the hard seltzer, which is, you know, seltzer water, but it's 14% alcohol by volume, not 5%,
Oh,
because
hell
Four
yeah.
Loko doesn't make anything under 12%. So they post this can, and they have since been going like doing social media incredibly well, memes, whatever. But I need to get me a cup of this fuck up right now. Like I need to get me a hard seltzer from Four Loko and see if I can black out in 1.5 cans. It just seems
That's like drinking a bottle of wine.
yes, but like so when I hit college right at the right time where we had the good caffeinated Four Loko, people were dying on this shit version. And
It's the
so
good
that's what I
stuff.
remember. Yo, the good stuff. If you could die on it, you're good to go. And so I'm thinking to myself, like, man, this is what I'm talking about. Like, this is the perfect time. Everybody used to joke like we're gonna die because of Four Loko, but nobody thought that it would come 8 years later when Four
Yeah.
Loko was a thing of the past. I don't know anybody who's drank Four Loko in the last like 5 years. So
I mean, we would
I'm
drink
excited.
Four Loko like end of high school because you could get like one, and this was before the change where people were like the FDA probably had to come in. I think they actually did, and they're
They
like,
did. That
you
caffeine.
can't put 3 cups of coffee worth of caffeine and 6 beers worth of alcohol in this
Yeah.
can. People are
It's
dying.
not
And I
allowed.
remember like drinking those as a fucking like 17, 18-year-old, the ones with all the caffeine, and being like just a kind of drunk I'll never experience again. It makes Red Bull and vodkas look like bitch juice.
It is
It was
truly
so caffeinated.
for $5 in a can. It is irresponsible to sell something like that. Like it is true. Like I can't even buy like a little Mickey of my budget plastic bottle like vodka, but you somehow I'm convinced there was somebody grinding up Adderall and putting it in that can. They're like, this will do, right? Like
Have I ever
Whatever
told
it
you
was,
guys
it
about my
worked. It
friend that
kissed
tried to
up
start an
the
alcohol company?
no.
So he's a young guy. He graduated with an MBA from University of Texas. So he's fresh out of like that environment. And he decides to make Jello shots that you can buy. This might exist now. I don't know. But
I've seen him, yeah.
he had to hire a chemist. There was no such thing as Jello at room temperature at the time. It would turn to liquid, right? That's what Jello does. And they made a room temperature Jello that existed. And he invented Jello shots, but that didn't need refrigeration and that could be sold at liquor stores and stuff like that. So he gets it all done. And then he starts like trying to get alcohol, tobacco, and fire, like I guess ATF approval. And they shoot it down for something stupid, like font size on a warning or something. So he fixes that and then goes back, and they shoot it down for something stupid again. Shoot it down for something stupid again, and it's like the color, the packaging, the cartoon watermelon. We don't like that. They just kept, and eventually he reaches out to me. He's like, "What is going on here? Like every time, can you just give me the full list of things you want changed so that I can do that, and then we'll go live with the product?" And they're like, "No. Our plan is to give you a 1x1 thing until you quit. We think that minors will love your Jello shots, that's your intended audience, and you'll never get past this."
Yeah, it is the hardest business to get into besides perfume and makeup. Like the alcohol business is so cutthroat. in
Mhm.
terms of like what you need to do marketing wise, because realistically, like profit margins are incredible for these companies. So you like, I personally would love to start a vodka water business. There's one that exists, only one. It's called Purist still. And it's only in Delaware, and it's not very widely distributed. But like there's a need for, or not a need, there's a desire to, to jump into alcohol. Everybody's like, oh, how do I do this? Realistically, the only way you get in is with wine or beer. Like doing hard alcohol is the hardest thing in the world. So it kind of makes sense.
Mhm.
The man was holding him down.
The man
All
is
he
holding him
wanted to
down.
do was sell Jello shots. I'm sure to adults.
And the thing
Nobody
with
over
hard
25
alcohol
does
is
that.
like
Yeah.
selling retail hard alcohol, like so much of it is just packaging and presentation.
Mm-hmm.
Like the way, like people don't want a I was at the store the other day and I was walking through the liquor aisle to get beer because it was on the like opposite sides, and there was like a new whiskey, but it was just packaged in a wine bottle. And I
Yeah.
was like, you guys are going to die on the vine. You're fucked.
So to
How are you
speak. Look
supposed to
what you
compete
did
against
with the
like
vine.
even
Yeah.
like something as iconic as Jack Daniels? That doesn't count because they have legacy. But like you see like Hypnotic and all these really, really nice looking liqueur bottles. Like a lot of what people look at when they're purchasing liquor is
Bottle.
presentation.
Bottle.
I don't
the
care how
presentation.
good
Get
your
it,
liquor
Brett.
is. If it's in a plastic bottle, fuck you.
If it's in a plastic bottle, you don't want it because I mean we loved Crystal Palace and Popov and all those guys back in the day.
Plaid,
Yeah.
Burnett's, let's go.
Burnett's pink lemonade. Oh, that was so big, so popular. I think if I had some of that now, like
I'd die.
a tooth
It
would
would be
fall
the end
out
of
and
me.
I'd die. Yeah, that was the only liquor I've ever drank where the next morning I'm like, my teeth ache, like from the amount of sugar that is just in there. If you got it cold, it became just a viscous
Just like,
non-Newtonian
it was
fluid.
So non-Newtonian.
Yeah.
So true. But it was $13 for a handle, and you couldn't beat it. So.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh
Or
God, I'm so glad that I make enough money to not buy that anymore. Now my alcoholism is rampant on expensive liquor, like New
and
Amsterdam.
cool ass
And
Weird
New
flex,
True
but okay.
Monde or whatever beer
New
you're
Amsterdam
drinking.
is very bottom mid tier. It was, yeah, but
I stopped drinking a year and a half ago. So
Did you?
Congratulations.
no
Nice.
alcohol for me.
I
Like
haven't
a-
It's not
drinking.
like I had a
fitness-
severe problem. It was more
No,
just didn't
it's
like the
just a
hangovers and
stylistic
it's
choice.
yeah. I was just like, yep, stop drinking, start working out. Get the
Nice.
Ooh,
Was
look
a
at
lot of it?
bicep.
Was a lot of it fitness driven? Where you were like, I'm not getting the gains I
Yeah.
want. Fuck liquid calories.
yeah, I was fairly skinny and I was trying to put on weight, and then I was, going out partying, which I still do, but just drinking, and I'm like a super lightweight, so I got drunk after 2-3 drinks, puking all the time. At one point I puked so hard my eye got like a vein popped, and it was like
Hell
my eye was
yeah.
all red.
Jesus.
And then this one time I went to like a brand deal in a different country, and they fed me so much alcohol there, and then I just completely embarrassed myself, puking in front of like the agent who got me there and whatnot. And I'm
Oh
like,
no.
You're like,
now
there's
it's
a whole
really
bar
starting
here.
to
We
interfere.
didn't have to drink it.
No. So now I was like, it's really interfering with my business, and from my point of view, at least. I ended up still doing business with them afterwards, so it didn't ruin
Nice.
the relationship. But I was just like, imagine this, like these guys weren't that cool about it, and it would have happened to someone else, like with someone else.
Oh,
yeah. So
No,
I
that's- you
partied
made the
too
adult
much.
decision. You made the adult decision. Truly.
And then I wasn't able to work out the day after, and I would just feel like shit, and it stops muscle growth and whatever.
Oh yeah.
So I'm like,
That's the thing for me. Yeah.
I'm like not gaining anything.
Alcohol
from
stops
being
muscle
drunk.
growth.
Well, it
Just
stops muscle growth in that, like, if you're hungover, you're not going to work out, or you're not going to be able to work out as hard, or you're not going to be able to. You're probably going to make mistakes with eating while you're drinking. Maybe you go for a $5 hot and ready pizza instead of the salmon fillet that you bought, and so it just sets
Alcohol
you
does
back.
not ever do anything positive for your body. Like nobody has ever drank heavily and been like,
Yeah,
You
no,
know,
that
ever
was
since
great.
I
It
started
solved all my
drinking heavily. Yeah, like I feel so much better. Like
That's joke to think
I
about.
had
the neck pain is gone.
Yes.
My wife loves me, and just
Yes.
feel great in the mornings
Are
now.
you tired of being addicted to opium? Because there's a
Listen,
my name's
listen
Dr.
up,
Shore,
guys.
and there's an over-the-counter solution for your
get
depression.
yourself a keg. We
Temporarily.
got 2
Yeah.
kegs right here.
Yeah.
Wait, I stopped drinking.
Yeah.
Oh, do you have a
Guys, listen
bottle
up.
of?
Is that
Listen up.
Bailey's?
I don't know what it is.
Oh,
Prosecco.
Jesus.
It's one of my favorite drinks in the world.
Prosecco, isn't
It-
that like an Italian meat?
Listen, look, if Prosecco was sent to me by PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, it's one of the favorite.
Just love that room temperature prosecco. Like
I
nothing
don't
like it.
drink.
I don't
It's
even
just
know
there
what
for the
Prosecco
looks.
I
is.
know, yeah. Prosecco is basically like a fizzy light white wine. Not quite champagne, but still fizzy.
I don't like wine very much.
I love wine. I love champagne. I love wine. I love vodka. I love whiskey. I like alcohol. It's great.
I'm the trashiest drinker in what I like. I like Bud Select because it's
Hey.
99 calories a can. Is that everywhere? Does everybody have Bud Select?
No, I'm if I'm out at like a music festival and there's like a 10-hour day in front of me, I strictly drink light beer or like vodka shot. Like what do you want me to do? Drink heavy beers for 9 hours? Like I'm gonna
Yeah.
die. Like no, give me the 99 calorie 4% bullshit. Let me just suck those waters down and like we're good for 10 hours. But I don't know the people who are like they get to the club or something, they're like, I'm here for 4 hours. Need 2 Red Bull vodkas. It's like Jesus Christ.
Yeah, settle down, man.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
was
relax.
me. That
Yeah.
was me.
The worst is like this happened to me just a few weeks ago. I was out with friends at a brewery restaurant where they're like, we make all our own beer, and it was like, oh, neat. And I was reading through the description things, and I saw one, and it didn't have that much. Like it said what kind of beer it was, like Belgian something, and I just assumed a lighter beer, like of Hefeweizen or Hefeweizen or a,
Hefeweizen, and then they
or a
hit you with
Pilsner.
the
and I
triple
picked-
drafts, and you're like, what the fuck?
And I even like most IPAs too, as long as it's not like too strong, as long as it's like not one of those 9% retardedly like a wine beer.
That's what I was drinking. The Lefty du Monde. It's 9%.
Yeah, I don't like those very much. It's too strong. But I
Understandable.
ordered a beer and it was like a $7 beer, and it shows up and it's as dark as Kwebbelkop's shirt. And I'm like,
black.
well, I can't immediately send it back. You can power through at least. Let's get through some of this. And I muscled down like half of it over the course of the next like 25 minutes. And everybody like at the table's like, Taylor, you don't like your beer? And I'm like, no, I actually really don't like it. I'm going to send it back and get something different. And so they came back and I was like, you can just take the whole thing and bring me something light. Just bring me a fucking Bud Light. Just
Yeah.
a light, crisp, refreshing beer. People who shit on light beers flavor, it's like,
Listen,
you can't
you
see
don't
the
understand.
forest for the trees, you
That's what I'm
retard. I'm not
saying.
drinking it for the flavor. I'm drinking it because it's crisp and cold and refreshing.
Yeah, it's like I love my IPA. I love good beer, but like I said, you know, you get into a situation where if I'm on the beach, the last thing I want is to drink grass incarnate in a bottle, right? Like I want to lay down and give me the coldest thing that is as close to water but has a little alcohol in it. That's where White Claw comes in, and that's why it's so good.
I was just at the beach last week, and the only thing we brought to the beach were White Claws.
Yeah, and you're just like, fuck. Oh, this is great, huh? Who knew?
Yeah.
Apparently,
But it's
white
Seltzer
people like
water
white.
and what vodka?
Do you know what
alcohol.
LaCroix is,
Which,
or like
like-
LaCroix, like those?
Yeah,
lemon
I've never
drinks and
had
everything?
one, but I'm familiar with it.
It's just that
Okay.
with 5% alcohol, literally that, and it tastes barely like alcohol at all.
You really would not think to yourself this has alcohol in it. You'd just be like, this is shitty fizzy water.
Hmm.
Yeah,
that
even
has a
with
hint
your
of a
like
flavor.
sensitive palate to it, Woody, if you would get through
kind.
you would get through half a can before you realized it was alcohol.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it is.
I-
It is
the
truly
last
that
2 or
good.
3 years, I don't think I've
Good.
had any alcohol off this show. Like it's just drinking.
Oh, off the
episodes.
show.
Yeah,
When's the last time you had a drink not because of a drinking episode, like a fancy dinner or
right.
something?
I don't recall.
Really?
Yeah,
You don't have like a glass of wine with dinner sometimes?
0
anniversaries?
times. There's not even alcohol in this house. I don't think.
Wow.
Ooh.
There's
Very
like old
What about the
Grangala.
kids? What
Oh,
about the
there's-
kids?
Oh,
No, no, the kids are so young.
Well, Colin, no. Hope's in college, so I have to assume she goes to parties now and then.
Holy shit, she's in college.
She's a junior. She just went back yesterday.
Jesus Christ! What the
Time
fuck?
flies. It's
Oh
crazy.
man! Ooh,
When I think about Colin, I'm still like, yeah, that 7-year-old rambunctious lad.
that's what
running
I'm
around.
thinking.